Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Creeper World 4. That is right, we are back heading to the colony section yet again for another Curssor map. That's right, we are going to do Fuzzy Creeper Curssor. I have some interest in this map, so I'm going to give it a go. Looks like this does have the improved cursor where it is within cells of AC. It doesn't have to be in AC, which is pretty fantastic. Took a look at the map, seeing how things look, and you know what? I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Do like me some Curssor maps, so let us take a look at everything. So it looks like we have all the things planned out. I wonder if when we're paused, we'll be able to see it in the creep. I don't know. But right now we can see it. So for things just to sort of see if we can see anything, for instance, I do not see a nullifier on any of these yet. So we don't know where the nullifiers are going to be. I was trying to get ahead because I am always like, I don't know where the nullifier is going to be. I don't know where the nullifier is going to be. There's a lot of beacons. Don't see any nullifiers. Although the nullifier to the Dark Tower is on the left side. So that is something to note. The nullifier for the Dark Tower will be on the left side of the Dark Tower. It looks like there's enough creep around everything else that we can't tell where the nullifiers will be quite yet. So that is something to note. In terms of power, we have 150 over here. 150, 200. So these are supercharged down in this corner. This is a 10 every 1 second, so not very charged whatsoever. And then up here, 50, 100. So it does seem like the whole plan, and the center itself is 300. So it looks like you just sort of gain your island, hold this, and then sort of move your way up and around. So that based off of the power of the emitters, we'll gain more power as the map goes on, of course. So I think that is perfectly fine. Now for our initial phase, ooh, nice yellow background. I don't know if that's random. I don't think it is, but I don't know. But for our initial set, I think obviously we are going to be going for these 3 points of power. Go for this, and then try and stabilize here and go to the north. That is sort of the goal. Let's see how well we can do. Maybe we even take this island, because if we can take this, that should probably hold this pass, because it does look like that is a pass. I will be turning on the map indicator for this, and I will be going into top-down mode so we can see. It looks like our AC starts right here, so we want to spread to there and there as fast as possible. Getting to the top would be nice, so maybe we will, because that will just increase our power for when we go over there. Same thing with getting over here. So maybe we'll do down, up, over, and over. Because, you know what, as much breeding as possible sounds pretty good to me. So let's get that going. We're already losing our friends, which is fine. We have spread our AC to the point where we are happy, and we are moving along. So spreading the AC to the points where we're happy, doesn't need to completely fill it. We just want to get it going. So yeah, that feels pretty good. Again, we're getting it to the next point of power. I do love that it gives you some leeway. Holy moly, is that nice. And we have made it to that point as well, which is, again, awesome. And now we're moving up to our northern point of power, right? Get these breeding for us. It will just help in the long run. So now we can even see that we're already spreading across basically the entirety of the map, or our initial map, I should say. And that's just giving us just power, right? You know, just free power coming our way. And that's going to allow us to sort of zoom in on this side. The AC is holding relatively well, so it feels pretty good there. And yeah, we're just moving along, singing our song, making AC wherever we want. We are losing some ground in some places, which is a shame, but that's okay. That's okay. I wonder... Oh, yeah, it does move so much faster because we can just really hem it in. I am looking forward to doing more of Tricky's maps with the orb. I want to get to some more orb Yelan maps. Let's defend a little. Oh, actually, we don't even really need to defend over there. And over here is sort of holding its own pretty well. So let's actually move up the side, because I was kind of curious if we can, because I think you can get through this little area. And if we can get to the top, I think we'll be able to start just defensively, right? The only point is just to use it as a defensive position. And yeah, I like defensive positions, right? If they can hold their own, just sort of hold this pass, it will be quite substantial for us, right? I'm not expecting them to be able to push into things, you know, with the 200 emitters every 0.5 seconds. Those are a little bit tough for now, but not too tough, you know? I mean, we're clearly making some progress over here. Ooh, but the creep is creeping up. So we definitely need these to come online. That way they can sustain themselves, and then we can move forward. So it looks like this area is fairly stable, and it looks like the AC has even pushed over here, so even better for us. Yeah, that feels pretty good. Feels pretty good if you ask me. So now we just need to start spreading. We need to make it so this area is doing good. This area, yeah, might not be perfect, but I think those mortars will just help, right? At least, if not now, maybe later. Although at the same time, the creep is at its maximum. So that's actually probably a bad thing, thinking about it, because now that they're shooting there, it's going to produce creep more so everywhere else. So maybe that's actually a bad thing. Maybe I did an uh-oh, so to speak, right? Made a slight mistake there, but that's okay. That's okay. Looks like our main area is holding, though. We don't want this to fall, because that is clearly a good defensive point for us. But we do want this emitter, and we want to hold our edges, right? Hold our edges, hold our walls. That's what's always important. So let's keep it moving and see if we can find our nullifier. Of course, nullifiers always notoriously hard to find. It's just the nature of the beast. The nullifier's, there it is. Oh, it's on our side. Happy days, they are here again indeed. So this is actually fantastic. This emitter is trying to fend us off, but we're already getting our nullifier. We've gotten a couple of cannons over here. I think this area will be ours soon enough, and then we can move forward, of course. So it's feeling pretty good to start, you know? Feels like a pretty decent start. We're sort of making some pretty good progress. Down here, still holding. Let's just give them a little bit of benefit. The nullifier is coming online. How's our... Whoa, they're just making progress over here. Holy crap, I did not expect them to actually make progress. And if they're going to be making progress, we might help them a little bit, right? Because if we can hold this just a little bit, and they can hold this, well, that's just immense, right? That's them just doing work. And I'm all for that. You know, less work for me. We have 3 seconds until this breeds. That's kind of all I care about. It is now breeding. Beautiful. Just let that be a little bit of a boon for them while we move on to bigger and better things. Because, you know what? We want to take over this. We're going to cut it in half. Just like this. Now, cutting in half, honestly, a very bad strategy sometimes. Like right now, it's not the best strategy because by cutting it in half like this, we're not actually really building anything. We're actually getting a little bit, and that's kind of my goal. I just want to get a tower to up here. So if we can get the connecting points, and it is here. I wasn't 100% sure if the connecting points were on this side, but it was. So that feels really, really good. Because now we're going to be able to get a couple of mortars, a couple of cannons, and just cut this over. Again, we're just going to cut this in half, and then we're going to take that bad boy. You know, we're going to just move our cursor over, and it's going to take probably... Ooh, let's get that edge cleared up. They are going to get a breeding cycle because of that, and that's okay. Like, they're going to be breeding right now. It sucks. And we did lose this, which sucks as well. You know, that's the problem with the connecting points, is they're so weak because, you know, they're literally just a connecting point. But we've basically gotten it, right? This will take the corner. Next breeding cycle is coming in just a few seconds, and that's going to be huge, right? This is going to eliminate the rest while we work our way over here. It is going to be breeding right now, but with our cursor over here, it's going to sort of eliminate a lot of pressure from that breeding. And I don't even care that we're losing ground over here now, because now we've taken this, right? We've taken that. Everything is our oyster now. Just, there is nothing, only foam. The foam party shall commence, and it'll feel really, really good. So let's just survey the land. I don't want my mouse, you know, doing anything wrong. Again, we're holding these 2 points fabulously. Oh, it's glorious. It is glorious. Again, we're still holding this point, which is incredible. I expected this to go down, but we were able to get all of the cannons, and I think that's what we need in order to hold it. So that is holding. Creep is still maintaining its maximum, so, you know, never a good thing there. But we're going to go for the emitter. We're going to go for this, emitter, that. You know, we have a lot of points that we're going to start going for. Again, we're going to try and cut this off now, so this will just die off naturally, fill in with all of our good stuff. And yeah, just commence from there. So we're gonna move our cursor in. As long as it's just within a couple of blocks, it will just spread naturally. And look at that, the breeding cycle saved the day. And yeah, this is now dying from both sides, which is what you want to see, right? So it's looking pretty good for us. Yeah, straight to the wall, make sure we cut off any connection. And that just dies really, really fast now. We're going to get a couple mortars. They're going to help us out. Look at that. It is beautiful. We'll even just help clear this out just a wee little bit. And, you know, just because it gets us a little bit of power, you know, any power is good power. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but you should be now. Any power is good power, just so you know. So we're going to hug the edge. I like to hug the edge because, you know what, it's a safe spot. We're not going to get surrounded. By hugging the edge, we're just going to work our way in. We are losing some ground, a bit more than I would like. But by hugging this edge, again, we're just going to be able to build up many more piles of creep, move in just that much easier, and allow us to get towards this emitter. So, edge hugging. It's a good time. And it gets us a cannon right there. That's a great cannon to have, plus a mortar. Ooh, double duty. Ooh, double mortars. Oh, don't let this cannon die, though. And we got another cannon right there. So we're actually getting some good units. Ooh, actually, let me pause it. No, we do not see units in the creep when paused. I didn't even think to look about that or have my mind register whether that was the case or not. Unfortunate, but that is the case. So that's fine though. We've moved up the edge. We've gained some really well-placed units. And yeah, our generation is fantastic. So you gotta love it. We're just moving along. And we're going to start to surround this emitter. I mean, we could go straight for the emitter, but we're getting units all the way around, which is actually pretty cool, right? I mean, the units are actually pushing very, very well themselves. And honestly, a mortar on an emitter will not do more than us, so to speak, but it will do quite a lot. So as you can see, like, they're literally pushing while we're going for the optional objective of this breeding ground over here, right? So if we can get this to breed on the opposite side, that's going to feel pretty good. Now we have to hold this for 10 whole seconds. But 10 whole seconds, that's not too bad in the grand scheme of things. So there we go. Almost held. Just a couple more seconds, and it will reduce the amount of creep in the area substantially. There we go. It is now breeding, and now we're going to push in, right? We did lose it, but we kept them from breeding a bit more. The nullifier is even online without us being there. Without us being there, it's amazing. These units are doing some seriously good work. And because we thinned this out, it allows us to just push into this that much easier, you know? So, hold it down, hold the fort, get that breeding cycle yet again. Again, we're holding the breeding cycles, and that's going to allow us to keep on pushing. Ooh. I want these to build right here. I mean, I know that was a pylon, but, you know, pylons help, too. Because once we get this next cannon and mortar, and the cannon on the inside, yeah, that's gonna be real good for us. So, all right. There we go. We got the cannon on the inside. Let's see how the rest of the map is faring. So over here, it's faring pretty well. Let's actually see if we can help this side out. Because you know what? If we can get, again, hold your walls, expand to them, and maybe get a nice little defensive fortress up top, that'll just help push them even further. Maybe we can get a connection point from one side to the other. That would be pretty nice. And yeah, maybe we're not going straight for these emitters, but we're able to create more of pushing power. And you know what? I'm all for more cushion for the pushing. You know, just give them that little AC cushion, let them push that much better. And this is, I think, going to be able to hold a little bit nicer. So we do have some units at the top. We'll get this mortar as well. That's going to help loads. And yeah, I mean, that feels pretty good if you ask me. So this side, feeling pretty good as well. Maybe this is a fool's errand. Maybe we're going here a little too early for our britches. But again, anything that we can take, if we can build a couple of units over here, I would be thrilled by that. You know, just to make sure we can hold this very, very well. But look, we took that no problem. So it feels good, although it doesn't feel like there's any real units coming in here. So maybe we should go back towards the top, see how they're holding. Again, see, they made, I don't know about progress, but they made a nice defensive line. And that's going to allow us to go for this spot over here, right? Because we want that to be breeding for us, not for them, of course. So we'll grab this. It won't take too long. This should actually be easily held because, again, it's on the wall. So this will breed for us beautifully. Beautifully. Just like that. And that's just going to expand our influence. Oh yes, more influence, more good. Feels so much better. Because every time this breeds, it's just going to get better. And we're going to try and... Ideally, I want to hold this entire line. Now the problem is, I think we now got power. Okay, I was going to say, we don't have power coming down here, and that's the problem that I have. But it looks like we are getting power down here now, and that is fantastic. So, if we can just hold this power, get this mortar build up, it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be very, very nice. I want this mortar built though. I want this cannon. Oh, please, 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 please. Do not let... Okay, the cannon's up. That's huge. The mortar is now up. It's not firing yet, but it will be soon. And that's gonna be all the help that we need in order to hold this next line. As you can see, look, they've even made another line themselves at the top. So everything is pushing for us. So naturally, we have to now stop them from breeding even more. The creep is staying near maximum, so it's not like we're really diminishing the creep, but we are hemming it in, and that's what's important, right? We're keeping the creep where we want it, which is less places than we are. So we're now taking this breeding ground, so once we have that, hopefully they'll build some stuff at the top. They did not, but that's okay, that's okay. Oh, there we go. There's a cannon. Maybe we'll get a mortar too. Yeah, we got a mortar as well. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Just what we want to see. And we're just going to pull this in. So let's get this mortar built. Let's get that other mortar built. And we want to get this emitter, of course. Every emitter is a good emitter to go because we're actually starting to see the creep at the bottom drop. That's a sign. It's a good sign. It's also a scary sign, because once it starts dropping, every emitter we go to will be active. So we are now in active emitter mode. You know, before, maybe the emitter was on, maybe it was just pulsing, you know, it was just throbbing, you know, a throbbing emitter. But now it is definitely active, and that's gonna be harsh. You know, that's gonna you know, hurt our vibes. But we're also able to really push well. I mean, our energy generation is so good. We don't have to worry about a deficit, which it's building so many things. Sometimes the AI definitely is very deficit heavy, and I am very, very glad to see that the deficit itself is not growing. We're actually just taking more and more land. So I am working on getting to this point of power next, because it's not big. Not at all. But anything we can get that is just increasing our AC just a tiny bit on this side while holding, you know, like now that we have this, we can hopefully go to the wall and cut them off here and take just a new zone, right? You know, cut them off. It'll just allow us to hold it. There is just that little bit of breeding. Not much again, but just enough to hold, and boom, there we go. Nice little connection point right there. Gotta love it. And again, mortar's coming down, cannon's coming down. It's feeling pretty good, if you ask me. So we definitely want this next point of power, though. Again, the creep is actually dropping at this point. You know, they're at 7.5, they're at 7.2 now, and that's only going to get less. There's no way but down for the creep from this point on. So that feels pretty good. I want to go for that emitter, but I think going for this first will help even more, because we can take this. Not only is it going to expand our power in terms of AC production, this just directly inhibits their power, right? So it's breeding in just a couple of seconds, which is grand. We actually are here like at the perfect time. So if we can just hold this, Just like this. This takes away half of what is growing in this area right there. Now, yes, we didn't take it all, but we lessened the impact of this by a substantial margin. We don't necessarily have the power to hold it, though, which is a shame. I was kind of hoping we would have the power to hold it, especially with breeding with half of it. Unfortunately, we did not. But the AC, again, we kept them from breeding again, so we're still doing good. We are holding this and expanding, and we are going through another breeding cycle where we are limiting the amount of creep that is coming out. So it's actually getting easier to hold with every breeding cycle, as you can see. Our AC is actually expanding, but it's not as much as I would like I said. So maybe we will leave this as a fool's errand. We will take over maybe the top, and see if we can surround this emitter. Maybe we just go up. Maybe we just go up the top, right? We just hold it, somewhere up here. See if we can start to get some things going up top, just like that. Yeah, we could have just done this. This is way faster. Don't see a nullifier yet, but we will, I'm sure. Let's just keep surrounding this. There we go. There we go. Yes, getting those officially built is huge. Getting the surround on, very, very huge as well. Where are... Oh, there's the nullifier. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. And that's going to be that. Easy peasy. Just what we wanted to see. So, yeah, I'll take it. We don't even have to do anything else. That will handle itself as we now go for our point of power, because they are starting to, completely assail. Now, the mortars will help as we move across, so I definitely want to see some more units on the side, because, based on how that point of power went last time... Ooh, there was 2 nullifiers on it. Interesting. That's kind of cool. But this northern half right here will just die naturally now. So as we cut this off, nothing will essentially reinforce that northern half. It's just gonna die, creep-wise at least. So, ooh, we have a couple of seconds. Can we get a little bit of this? Just a little bit in. We got like 1 drop of the breeding ground. Shame. Shame, 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 shame. Wanted to get a bit more, but that's perfectly fine. Definitely am surprised. I figured more cannons would be built in this area, but this is probably my fault. We need to work in from the edge a bit more. But we are taking some of this breeding ground again. And now that the emitter at the top is gone, anything we take from this breeding ground is that much more impactful now. Because now we took half of the breeding, which is half of the breeding in this entire top half. So that's actually huge. It's allowing things to be built up over here. And yeah, that feels pretty good to me, if you ask me. I mean, I'm pretty happy with that. And we even got a sprayer in the breeding ground. So glorious, glorious days to that. We are working on a couple more units as well. And this might be our breeding ground almost entirely in this cycle. So yeah, there we go. There we go. Breeding ground ahoy. Cutting off half of the map as well. Not half. It's close to half, I suppose. But it feels pretty good. Feels pretty good at this point. We've taken the entirety of that breeding ground. We now have what? That's a 150 emitter, not a 200. So the 200s are down below. They are obviously the stronger ones. So we will want those at some point. But as you can see, we've cut off this in a nice way so that top half can just die naturally to whatever AC is up there. And we're going to take some of this top ground. And that should actually give us some beacons, which should allow some pushing on the center island. I don't think they're going to be pushing too much, but you know what? If they can make a beacon, good on them. I'm happy for that. And it gives us a nice hub, if you will. There's a lot of cannons and mortars going on up there. Ooh, it's actually a nice little flat area over here, too. Nice flat areas on high ground. Always a good thing to see. They're going to be building stuff up there. It's going to be good. Yeah, give me the mortars. Come on, you can do it. Oh, cannons and mortars. Oh my, oh my. Ooh, don't let those die, though. Don't let those die, please. I definitely want them to be shooting that emitter. I was planning on going to the south after this, but you know what? We already have mortars shooting the emitter, which basically means that's going to be our next target. I do want these to just come online so they can push naturally onto the side. And we're good. So let's start taking a look at this emitter over here. Think we're doing pretty okay. Yeah, that's moving quite nicely. Our power has increased pretty substantially from where it once was. We aren't, we are losing some ground in essence, but not too much. The question is, where is our nullifier friend? I'm just trying. Ooh, there it is. And it's getting fed by a pylon? Oh my, that is some good stuff for us. The pylon is just connected, so all it takes is this to be built. Ooh, don't let it not be built. So we get this built, we're in the good zone. And yeah, creep's already down to almost half, like 2/3. So that feels pretty good as well to me, if you ask me. And then there's the nullifier. You're done. That emitter is now completely done. Now we can go for a point of power right here, which will just help cut off the map, of course. Again, it's all about cutting off the map. I'm just trying to ease the flow. I mean, look at the cannons coming up at the top left, up there. They're just going to do some very good work. So next is to cut off this, of course, because that is just bad breeder for us. But yeah, we're coming in on that emitter right there, and that emitter, still a slight problem, but not nearly as bad as you might think, because, our power is actually so great at this point that we are just cutting into things, right? I mean, look at this. I mean, we have no business in this area right now, especially with the stash filling up and everything, but we are just taking it over, and the goal is to take over as much of this as possible before the next 2 seconds, 1 second, and it's breeding. And yes, it's breeding, but look at how much is not breeding, right? That's the key. While it did breed, and even if they take a bunch of land back from our AC, we did prevent them from breeding too much at that point. The stash itself is almost completely encased as well, not really gaining much in the way of things, and we have cannons built over here. So if we can hold this, ooh, is that nice. Ooh, does that feel really nice. Again, they're breeding right now from this ground, and it's really not doing anything. So we'll even help these out a little bit, because that's a nice little spot. Yeah, that's just good news for us. So now we can cut across, get another point of power for us. The bigger point of power I would love to get to, but if we get this smaller point of power on this side, then we can use that to convert into this emitter. So I think that's what I would rather have. Cutting this off gets us this entire side, almost connects up to the main base as well. So we're sort of connecting our two sides, which is awesome. And we're working our way to this next, much stronger emitter. We should be able to get this point of power, though, hopefully in the next few seconds, because it is against a wall, and walls are good for us, because we're not going to get attacked from all sides. As you can see, we have taken the entirety of the thing, which is awesome, because now that is just going to breed for us, and right now it is breeding. So that itself is giving us added pressure to this side. So yeah, I'm a big fan. This is a nice high ground as well, and it'll help cut off some areas. So if we can get some things built up here, I think that's going to be a nice benefit before we go for that emitter. Now, if they can't really build up there, not really a big help, of course. But, I mean, look at that. If we got 3 mortars up here, that's just going to thin everything out. Not to mention, we're connecting the land up. Cutting off the creep. Oh, it's beautiful. Look at it go. Oh, the mortars are happening. The sides are connected. Oh, we have become one. We have become one. Feels super good there. And we have 15 seconds to get this point of power. I was going to go straight for the emitter, but again, if we can get this in 15 seconds, anything we get from this in 15 seconds is just golden, right? The golden points of power. Oh my. I mean, we took almost half of it. Almost half. And we're still pushing in because our power is that strong, and they're just not breeding from it now. So, yeah. That's just good for business. I will take what's good for business. Moving along, singing our song, feeling fantastic. I mean, look, they're even doing all the work over there. So, yeah, let's just help that along by cutting this off. And I'm not even going to worry about that emitter. You know, I'm just going to let that emitter be taken by the cannons as they're just doing amazing work, you know. If they can take it, why not let them take it? We'll move our butts inside, start going for the center path. Maybe that bottom left will hold, I don't know. But, I mean, look at how many cannons and mortars are being built over here. So, I would much rather get my butt going on this side. Maybe we'll get like a pylon connected. No, there's no pylon on the opposite side. What am I even thinking? I was going to say, it'd be nice to have like a pylon connected right there, but that's okay, that's okay. Because, you know, looks like that's nullified. Alright, this one, I do want to assist. I do want to get a few more units. Although they are kind of pushing in, you know, they're building new units. So maybe they don't need me. I don't know. You know, I want to leave it to them if I can. So yeah, let's do that. Let's move on to the center, because if we can get some center progress, then that's just gonna be good for us. So it doesn't look like they're building a beacon over there, so that's why I'm not working on that side. So I am just gonna start pushing up. It looks like there's a nice flat bit of ground here, so we might be able to grab a couple of units. Any unit we get is good, of course. Mortar right there is fantastic. You gotta love it. Definitely. Oh, they did build a beacon. Oh, they immediately made me a liar. Or a blind person. I could very well be blind. I don't know. It is quite possible. I'm not gonna hold that. I'm not gonna say I'm not. Ooh. I do want this mortar to survive, which it did. Thankfully. They built another beacon over there. Fantastic. I love it. I love it. And I want to connect up this because it'll be such an easier way to get ammo to this side that... Look at that. Ooh, that's even nicer. Connect that up. Okay. Oh, no. No mortar. No mortar. You're not allowed to die. You want to die. I know. You're trying. You're trying very, very hard. But I am not going to allow it. It looks like the cannons and things are built. Honestly, I'm going to allow it to die this time. It looks like the cannons and things being built on this side are just a lot more in line, where over here it's a lot more spread out. So I'm going to work on this left side a bit more, and hopefully we get another beacon. Although I'm not seeing it, doesn't mean it doesn't exist. But I'm not seeing it quite yet. There it is. We do have beacons. So that's nice. We hold this, we get this beacon, then we can connect sides, and that's going to be just what we need, right? If we can make this beacon, which it's about to be done, feels real good. There we go. Oh, look at that. Now we can hopefully get a nice, solid connection between the two. Oh, we're so close. Oh, it looks like it's going to do it. I think we have a connection. The connection point is happening, is being built, which is amazing. Oh, there we go. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stuff. And yeah, that's gonna give us some supreme power at this point, right? Our beacons are moving up, our creep is moving in. I'm curious how the bottom left is handling it as well, because we just completely left that behind. And I'm okay with that. I'm completely okay with leaving that bottom left side behind, because you know what? It's doing its thing. You know, if it wants to do better, it can do better. But look at this. I mean, we're now just cutting in. We're working our way to the point of power on this island, which is huge. You know, if we can actually take some of this point of power, that's just going to take over the rest of the island for us. I mean, it won't take over the rest of the island. I mean, I'll be fair. It's not going to completely take over the rest of the island, but it is going to just help very substantially, right? Look at this. I mean, this is dying off substantially more because we did this nice big cutoff. And yeah, I mean, this point of power is... we are able to tackle it. Thankfully, we can tackle it in the dark because our cursor is just that amazing. Keep it going. There we go. Ooh, that beacon is a nice, nice beacon. It is breeding for us in a large way. We even nullified that with us being over on the point of power. You know? That's huge! That's huge! It feels so good. So, and we'll take it to the wall. Again, walls are your friend. That's where you want to be. Move to the center. Ooh. They're actually holding this point of power much better than I thought, especially after that one nullification happened. But no, we're taking it, There we go, that's the point of power that we needed. And yeah, it's breeding primarily for us, which now pushes everything back. How's the corner looking? Yeah, see, they took that corner without me doing pretty much anything at that point. So that's huge, you know, that was another big gain for us that we didn't have to worry about, you know? Sometimes you have to trust the AC on the map and the AI. It feels pretty good when you do, and it works out. Maybe this is a bad idea, you know, maybe we should just be working along the edge because, you know, it's not like the map itself can move very far. Although getting that beacon right there is actually pretty substantial, getting it nice and early, so that's kind of nice. Definitely want the nullifier though. That's going to be even better for us in the long run. But where are you, nullifier? You should be in this general vicinity. And there it is. Glorious. Okay, so we need that. Unfortunately, there's no AC being shot over there. That would be awesome if it was. Like if there was a sprayer just shooting in that general vicinity. So, okay, so we need to help this nullifier. Ugh. I thought they were doing so good, and they were. Just, you know, they sort of are lacking now. I mean, come on. You know, where's the 50 cannons in this area? There's a cannon, there's a mortar. Come on, you can do it. Be what you need to be. Because I wanted to get that point of power in the top right. There we go. There's a cannon, there's a mortar. Everything's looking good now. And we're going to now move on the outskirts. Because we're going to get the surround going on. You know, the outside is actually very thin as well, which is awesome. So this outside being thin means we can just very easily... Whoa! That was... there we go. That felt really good. But look at this. I mean, this allows us to completely cut this off. Come around here. I mean, the AC itself is just taking over the sides. Oh, it's beautiful. Beautiful. And that's going to allow us to get the final point of power, which is this corner. So, I'm okay with that. Done. There we go. It is breeding, unfortunately. It got a breeding cycle, but that's okay, because now we just take it over. Easy peasy, nothing left. There we go. Okay, and all that's left is the final emitter. We've already taken out an emitter of this strength, though, so it's not even like it's that much of a challenge. All we're going to do is we are just going to plow on in. You know, we're going to try and cut off things so things can start to build, because if they're not building, then we got a problem, right? I mean, we clearly need power up here to get a nullifier on. Even if they get a breeding cycle, like right now, that's going to be breeding. It happens. My guess is the nullifier will probably be around there, because it's a nice flat area. You never know. Could be in the back or something. But, yeah, look at that. I mean, now that we're building in this quadrant, we're going to move on up, see if we can find that nullifier. Again, I have high hopes for it to be right here, but you never know. I would love to see it, like, right here. And there it is. That worked out. The plan actually worked out. I will take it. It will be breeding, so we definitely need to protect this one. Now, once we get these mortars and these cannons, it'll probably be pretty solid to defend itself. But we need the mortars and cannons, of course. There we go. Mortars, cannons, everything while we do the nice surround. That cannon will die, maybe, unless we save it. But I just want to get as much of this creep killed as possible. There's the final objective. That allows us to take the map super, super easily. Of course, we want to kill all the creep. And there we go. That has been Fuzzy Creeper Curssor. Feels pretty good. Felt pretty good. Definitely enjoyed it. I hope you did too. I hope you have a wonderful day. Let's check our time. 34 minutes. Did not seem like it was that long. Holy moly. Fairly decent. Definitely not the fastest. Wow, look at Ryu. Definitely picked up speed in his second playthrough, so good for that. But yeah, not too bad. Not too bad overall. Just a fun little Curssor map. I hope you enjoyed it. I definitely did. Hope you have a wonderful day. And I'll catch you next time. Take care.